we will understand a topic from Science 2, Chapter 8, Useful and Harmful Microbes, Module 1. In this module, we will study useful microorganisms, Lactobacilli, Rhizobium. You are familiar with different types of microbes which are all around us but cannot be seen with our naked eyes. Microbes are present everywhere. For example, milk can be converted into curd, buttermilk, cheese with the help of microorganisms or microbes. Some microorganisms are useful and also some microorganisms are harmful. There is presence of microbes in air, in water, in land, in food, in wastewater, in wastage, in plants, in animals, and in human body. Microbes are also useful to prepare pickle and animal food. Microbes are also harmful for human or animal body. Students, there are two types of microbes, useful microbes and harmful microbes. First, let us define microbes. Microbes are tiny living things that are found all around us and are too small to be seen by the naked eye. Microorganisms can be seen with the help of microscope only. A microscope is an instrument used to see objects that are too small to be seen by the naked eye. Examples of useful microbes are Lactobacilli, Rhizobium, and yeast. First, we will discuss about Lactobacilli. Lactobacilli is used to convert milk into curd. But how do they look? For this, smear a drop of fresh buttermilk on a glass slide. Stain it with methylene blue and put a cover slip over it. Observe the smear under the 10x objective of a compound microscope and then with the more powerful 60x objective. Did you notice the blue rod-shaped organisms moving around? They are lactobacilli, a kind of bacteria. They are minute and rectangular in shape. Lactobacilli are anaerobic bacteria. That is, they can produce energy without the use of oxygen. I repeat, lactobacilli are anaerobic bacteria. That is, they can produce energy without the use of oxygen. How is yogurt made from milk? As you all can see the steps, milk is first heated, which kills harmful bacteria, removes oxygen, and changes milk proteins. Then, the milk is cooled to 40 degrees Celsius, which is the best temperature for growing yogurt bacteria. Then there is addition of yogurt which ferment milk into lactic acid and also give yogurt its acid taste. After fermentation for 6 hours, yogurt is then stored in storage tank at 4.5 degrees Celsius. This is the process of yogurt production. Why do doctors advise you to have yogurt or buttermilk if you have indigestion or abdominal discomfort? Students, buttermilk or yogurt has probiotics or living bacteria. It can neutralize acids in the stomach and prevent them from moving upwards in the body. Sometimes yogurt becomes bitter and froths up. Why does this happen? Students, yogurt can taste bitter sometimes if the fermentation is in excess than the required amount. During the fermentation process, the lactose present in the milk is converted to lactic acid under ambient environment conditions in which production of Clostridium takes place. Okay, these are the Clostridium bacteria which are very harmful. Which different milk products are obtained at home by fermentation of the cream from the milk? Yogurt, cheese, kefir, butter, sour cream, cultured buttermilk, ghee, etc. What is meant by probiotic yogurt and other foodstuffs that are usually popular nowadays? Useful microbes like lactobacilli are added to these eatables. Such eatables are healthy because they keep the harmful bacteria like Clostridium in the alimentary canal and help to improve our immunity. Students, Clostridium are very harmful bacteria. So, in this case, lactobacilli plays a very important role. Let us see the uses of lactobacilli. Various milk products like yogurt, buttermilk, ghee, cheese, shrikhand, etc. can be obtained by fermentation of milk. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful for large-scale production of cider, cocoa, pickles of vegetables, etc. Lactobacilli and some other useful microbes taken together are used to treat abdominal discomfort. Leavened fodder offered to domestic cattle like cows and buffalo is fodder fermented with the help of lactobacilli. The lactobacilli fermentation process is used to make wine and some types of bread. So students, this was all about lactobacilli. Now next, we will understand about rhizobium bacteria, symbiotic bacteria. Rhizobia are special bacteria that can live in the soil or in nodules formed on the roots of legumes. I repeat, rhizobia are special bacteria that can live in the soil or in nodules formed on the roots of legumes. Students, These bacteria have ability to take atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into a soluble form. Mostly these bacteria live in the roots of leguminous plants. Take a plantlet of fenugreek, groundnut or any other bean and sterilize it with a 3 to 5% solution of hydrogen peroxide. Afterwards, keep it in a 70% solution of ethyl alcohol for 4 to 5 minutes. Clean the roots with sterile water and then take thin sections of root nodules. Select good section and place it in a solution of safranin for 2 to 3 minutes. Place the stained section on a glass slide. Cover it with cover slip and observe it under the microscope. The pinkish rod-shaped organisms are the Rhizobium bacteria. Now, let us understand the role and importance of Rhizobium. Rhizobia living in the root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acids to that plants and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Such a mutually beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. I repeat, Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites and amino acids to that plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. Such a mutually beneficial relationship is called symbiosis. Rhizobia produce nitrogenous compounds from atmospheric nitrogen. However, for this process of nitrogen fixation, they need leguminous plants like pea, beans, soybean, etc. as hosts. Beans and pulses are rich in proteins due to nitrogenous compounds made available by rhizobia. Students, these are very good examples of rhizobia bacteria present in them. After harvesting a leguminous crop, the leftover roots and other plant parts are deliberately dumped in farm soil to maintain its bacterial population. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects. It has also helped to reduce expenses on fertilizers and thus works to the benefit of farmers. It has reduced the use of chemical fertilizers. Nowadays, seeds are coated with rhizobial solution or powder before sowing. After sowing, rhizobia enters the plantlet. This is called rhizobial inoculation. I repeat, nowadays seeds are coated with rhizobial solution or powder before sowing. After sowing, rhizobia enters the plantlets. This is called rhizobial inoculation. This has helped in the supply of nitrogen to cereal and other crops besides leguminous crops. Let us do one activity. This activity is of making curd or yogurt. Here, various steps are being given. First is boiling of milk, then step A, then step adding strains of bacteria. Next step is B, and last step we get proteins. So, step A is cooling boiled milk to warm temperature, and step B is formation of lactic acid. In this way, you have to complete the activity. Now let us see points to remember. The lactobacilli convert lactose, the sugar in milk, into lactic acid. Yogurt has specific sour taste due to lactic acid. Lactobacilli fermentation is useful for the large production of cider, cocoa, pickles of vegetables, etc. Rhizobia living in root nodules supply nitrates, nitrites, and amino acids to the plant and in exchange get energy in the form of carbohydrates from it. The use of rhizobium has helped to reduce the use of chemical fertilizers and thereby their adverse effects. Students, this is a homework for you. Write the uses of lactobacilli. What is rhizobial inoculation? What do you mean by symbiosis? And define fermentation. Thank you.